It is down to the wire for 2 parliamentary and 5 ward by-elections, with the polls appearing as a test runs for the next year's general election. The political pitches in Matungu and Kabuchai now leave the residents to exercise their democratic right tomorrow. From Kabuchai, we will be speaking to our reporter Mike Kagwongo. David Mudoka is on standby from Matungu. Also tonight, Kenya's homicide rate has been on the rise since 2016, with purposely inflicted pain on the rise as a result of domestic disputes. But just what is causing the spike in homicide? We have the answers in our special team coverage tonight. But first, these are the stories making headlines tonight. All set for 2 parliamentary and 5 ward by-elections that are high stake as IEBC sets May 18th as the date for Garissa senatorial, Bonchari and Juja by-elections. Also tonight, the much-awaited COVID-19 vaccines finally arrive in the country, with an immunization drive set to kick off. Plus, Raila Odinga takes the BBI bill crusade to Kilifi County as his week-long tour of the coast enters day 3. And tonight we take a deeper look at the rising cases of homicide, especially in the family unit. Tonight of all nights, Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. Now 2 parliamentary by-elections are set to take place tomorrow starting 6 a.m. The high-stake mini polls will see all the major political parties apart from Jubilee and Wiper taking part. Our teams are ready on the ground in Kabuchai and Matungu, and I'm now joined live by David Mudoka from Matungu with the latest. Mudoka, what do we know about the Matungu by-elections preparations so far?
Well, Abubakar Abdullahi, a very good evening to you. What that greeting will translate to here at the land of Ingo is Mulembe. So Abubakar Abdullahi, Mulembe to you. Indeed, Abubakar Abdullahi, we are at Matungu, one of the 2 in this case, constituencies that are set to hold their by-elections tomorrow. Remember, Abubakar Abdullahi, this follows the demise of 2 parliamentarians last year, among them here at Matungu, the former lawmaker Justus Murunga, who succumbed last year. This means that the seat was vacant. And we have seen a number of contestants show interest in succeeding Murunga, among them ODM's David Duere, ANC's Peter Nabulengo, as well as from the United Democratic Alliance Party, one of the new kids in the block in terms of parties, front Alex Lanya to contest. We have other candidates in this case, 12 others in this case. But at the end of it all, Abubakar Abdullahi, at the end of tomorrow, at the close of day tomorrow, we are expecting 1 winner from that. Abubakar Abdullahi, I am coming to you live from one of the polling stations, and actually this is set to be the biggest polling station and consequently the tallying station here. It is one of the few dubbed Harambee, where we're going to see a lot of activity here. There has been activity actually for the past few weeks as contestant after contestant campaign in an attempt to woo support towards their particular Brigadier Abubakar. So here at Harambee, it is actually all systems go. We have seen people involved in the preparations, in preparing the rooms, in preparing the center for tomorrow's by-election, run up and down, trying to make sure that everything is set for tomorrow. And right now, Abubakar Abdullahi, just briefly, I am joined by one of those people whom I mentioned who have been key in ensuring that this place is set for tomorrow and actually what happens after tomorrow, and that is the Stalin. Ivai, habari yako?
Salama sana.
You can introduce yourself first. What is your name and what part are you playing here today?
Okay, my name is Consamond Fwaya. I'm the presiding officer, Limbo Polling Station, that's from 1, and we are ready for the tomorrow elections. We have set the material in place. As you can see the room, there will be my clerk number 1, my clerk number 2, my clerk number 3 will be there. This will be the polling booth. Then here I have the ballot box. Yeah. So after voting, the voter will move the other side, then outside. Yeah, we are ready for the tomorrow election. Yeah.
Well, Abubakar Abdullahi, you have definitely heard it from the horse's mouth. Again, we anticipate around 60,000 voters to turn up from the various wards. That's those particular wards are 5 wards drawn from various areas in this Matungu constituency to turn up and try to elect in their new leader who succeeds the late Murunga, in this case Abubakar Abdullahi. Again, Abubakar Abdullahi, over the past few weeks of campaigning, we saw what we might call a neck-to-neck supremacy battle involving not only the 3 contestants, but also the parties that are fronting them to succeed Murunga. Among them is ANC's Musalia Mudavadi, go head-to-head with one who might be termed as one of his NASA brother, Raila Odinga, who was campaigning for David Duere. We have also seen the UDA team come here, pitch camp here, try to campaign for Alex Lanya. So it is not only just a match pitting 3 candidates in this case, but also it has the interest of the whole country in this case, Abubakar.
David, before I let you go, the constituency has 62,386 voters who are registered, who the expectations are will cast their ballot tomorrow in these mini polls. And nonetheless, just on the politics of Matungu, this race is pitting more than any other as of now NASA members who have had a bitter exchange publicly in the last 2 weeks. We have ANC's candidate and ODM's candidate. There is a supremacy battle for NASA to test tomorrow. Is it so?
Well, Abubakar, if you are a football fan, this is definitely a derby pitting NASA principles. But again, we all know that we might categorize NASA as a defunct political outfit. But again, this is a derby, Abubakar Abdullahi, if you are a football fan, that pits who were once principal in an outfit that actually gave the ruling regime a run for their money in the 2017 presidential elections, Abubakar.
Thank you. David Mudoka is our reporter who is live from Matungu. Remember, the Matungu parliamentary seat fell vacant following the demise of the late lawmaker, Justice Murunga, who died. Just on the numbers, the constituency has 62,386 registered voters, has 5 wards, namely Namamali, Koyonza, Mayoni, Kolera, and Halaba, with a total of 116 polling stations, which will be used in all the 5 wards. Of course, testing again, as we earlier talked about, the NASA political supremacy, 2 outfits, ANC led by Musalia Mudavadi and Raila Odinga's ODM, of course, headlining that. But nonetheless, there are also other candidates. We have a candidate as well from the United Democratic Alliance, which is associated with Deputy President William Ruto. Of course, David Mudoka is pitching camp in Matungu and will be bringing us updates as they happen. More than Matungu, there is also a by-election in Kabuchai tomorrow. Let's now cross over to Kabuchai in Bungoma County, where our reporter Mike Kagwongo is on standby with the latest. Mike, what do we know as of now as well?
Thank you, Abubakar Abdullahi. I can get you loud and clear right here from Kabuchai constituency, and it has been ups and downs for IEBC officials. just to make sure that tomorrow's election actually is secure and everyone actually votes at the specific time they aspire maybe. And just to let you know is that in Kabuchai constituency we have 57,654 voters from different polling stations. We have a total of 123 polling stations in 4 different wards. Those wards include Mukuyuni, Luya, Bwake, Kabuchai, Chwele, Kabuchai, and actually these wards, you find that a total of 3 MCAs are backing one candidate. I'll be telling you whom. In Kabuchai constituency, actually the seat fell vacant after the demise of former Kabuchai constituency, the one who died, James Lusweti Mukwe, after he actually was sick for quite some time, and it's believed that he actually talked to Majimbo Kalasinga to take his seat, who is actually vying for this seat through for the Kenya party, and he's backed by Moses Wetangula, who is the Ford Kenya party leader. Tomorrow, as it has been scheduled, the itinerary for Ford Kenya reads as at 8 a.m. Majimbo Kalasinga will be casting his vote at Sikusi Primary School. Then 30 minutes later, Moses Wetangula will actually be casting his vote at Namirama. We have a total of 8 candidates in Kabuchai constituency, and that includes Majimbo Kalasinga. We also have Evans Kakai, who is vying for this seat via UDA party. We also have David Kibiti, who is vying through Green Movement Party. We have Jeremiah Marakia, and we have Amos Wekesa, who is vying through Federal Party of Kenya, and Andrew Kutitila as the party leader. We also have Peter Kapanga, who is vying as an independent. We also have another candidate who brings 25 years of experience from United States of America, who actually is Wafubwa from United States of America, and he says that actually he's bringing 25 years of experience from United States of America, and he has never vied for these, respective of Majimbo Kalasinga vying for these, and Evans Kakai wanted to vie as a governor in 2017, but this time opted for Kabuchai parliamentary seat. Just to put into your consideration, Abu Bakar, is that Kabuchai constituency have 4 wards and 123 polling stations.
All right, Mike Kagwongo, it's good that you mentioned of the 123 polling stations, because earlier on there was a disquiet on the Tallinn Center. That has been resolved, I understand, has it?
Yes, it has been resolved, and today we had a media briefing with IEBC returning officer and IEBC Commissioner Mr. Molu, who said the tallying station that had been gazetted was Nalondo Secondary School, which is a boarding school, and according to Ministry of Education, they can't allow tallying station to be at a school which is a boarding school that will actually hinder learning process. So they decided to change to Bungoma TTI, which was not gazetted, but after a special consideration, they fall to Mabanga Agricultural Training Center. The Mabanga Agricultural Training Center is actually a government institute, and that is where tallying station will be, the process of tallying will actually be happening from at Mabanga Agricultural Training Center. So all this was due to gazettement of this tallying center, and having been Ministry of Education had refused them to do it from boarding school. Abu Bakar.
All right, and finally, Mike, one last question. The globe, and so is Kenya, is in the middle of a global pandemic, COVID-19, of course, still with us. What are the protocols that need to be observed in as far as holding the virus at bay is concerned in this mini poll?
Yes, Abubakar, it's one of the major questions we wanted to know from IEBC officials. And they told us that tomorrow they are only going to offer masks to IEBC officials at the polling station. But as voters, they'll be required to come with their own mask, and that is a must because actually at now, everyone is supposed to wear a mask wherever they are, and it's a government directive. So that means that everyone will be directed.
Spoke to us just of the preparations that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has so far put in place and the protocols that need to be observed in as far as voting within a pandemic is concerned. We'll be bringing you more live images as well as updates from those regions. And more than just the Matungu and Kabuchai, we also have 5 wards, namely London, Kitise, Kithuki, Kiamokama, Huruma, and Hell's Gates are expected to hold their by-election as well tomorrow. And as Mudhoni Maina now reports, the voters have been put on notice not to cause any chaos during the mini polls.
Police have distanced themselves from an alleged plan to disrupt voting in Nakuru's London ward by-election set to take place Thursday. This follows a protest letter by Senator Susan Kihika to the Inspector General Hilary Mutyambai, claiming that there was a plot to use the police in interfering with the exercise.
Tunauliza wale ambaye labda walikuwa nataka kulete fujo wasijaribu kulete fujo katika by-election ya tomorrow kwa sababu polisi itakuwa hapo kwa wingi.
2 candidates who withdrew from the London ward by-elections will still be among the 20 on the ballot papers as the 18,380 registered voters elect a new leader in place of Samuel Mbogwa. The late Mbogwa, who had been elected on a Jubilee ticket in 2017, died 3 months ago after a short illness, leaving the seat vacant and under high stakes for Jubilee and UDA parties.
Having by-election, which was left vacant by the death of Sami Mbogwa ambaye alikuwa MCA wa London Ward.
Jambo lingine ambalo ningependa kusema ni kwamba tarehe 4 ni siku ya kesho. Vituo vyetu vitafunguliwa kutoka saa 12 asubuhi mpaka saa 11. Na ningependa nihimize wakaaji wa London na wakaaji wa Hell's Gate wajitokeze mapema. Tembea ukiwa na kitambulisho chako. Tembea ama kama ulitumia passport, utembee na passport na utembee ukiwa umevaa barakoa.
Moreover, Kiamokama ward, a by-election is planned for Thursday. The ward has a total of 22 polling stations with 10,800 registered voters. A total of 11 candidates will be battling it out for the seat, which fell vacant following the demise of the ward's MCA Kennedy Maina last year.
We are set. We've made all necessary arrangements. We've trained our officials. They are already here, ready for posting. We've also engaged the stakeholders. We have just finished breaking the ballot, and this was witnessed by chief agents and candidates. So now we are doing actual distribution of materials to specific polling stations.
Elsewhere, Makueni County Commissioner Maalim Mohammed has assured residents of Kithuki Kitise ward against engaging in any illegality in Thursday's by-election. Maalim says anyone caught causing chaos will face the full force of the law. Meanwhile, following an incident on Sunday where Governor Kifutha Kibwana's acting chief of staff was arrested, Kibwana said that there is a plot to rig the election, saying that the Wiper Party was using security officers and the national administration to intimidate him and Muungano Party supporters.
Nataka niwaambie, anyone who will dare obstruct officer carrying out executing his lawful duty, we will deal with your family.
Gari ya Kalonzo mwenyewe, ile ya chase car, ilikuja katika police station na askari wake wale wanamlinda. Wakaja wakasema kwamba huyu jamaa ashikwe. Na sasa tumeenda wote police station, hakuna jambo lolote limewekwa katika AOB kwa sababu county commissioner amesema kwamba ni yeye atasema
will be opened at 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. in all the wards. IEBC has set May 18th of 2021 as the by-election date for Garissa senatorial seat alongside Bonchari and Juju parliamentary seats. Muthoni Maina, TV 47.
Thank you, Muthoni Maina, for that report from Kabuchai, Matungu, and the 5-ward by-elections. It is a Thursday vote rush tomorrow, and who best to trust to give you the live updates than the county's television. Keep talking to us. Time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with more after this break. Stay tuned.
You are watching TV 47, the home of Untold Stories.
Tamasha Paints, rangi ambayo imeimarika, rangi ya kipekee. Tamasha Paints ni kampuni ya kimataifa ya kuuza aina zozote za rangi ambazo zimechanganywa na teknolojia ya kisasa. Tunakuletea rangi aina ya Cover Matte, Silk Vinyl, Vinyl Matte, Weather Guard, Super Gloss na High Gloss. Pia tuna mafunzo ya kutengeneza rangi zilizopita mafunzo ya kimataifa. Tunafunza kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho kwa muda wa miezi miwili. Shule yetu ina vyumba vya malazi kwa malipo ya shilingi 40 pekee. Tunapatia wanafunzi wetu cheti inayotambulika kote nchini, kuwatafutia attachment na kuwapatia kazi wanapomaliza masomo. Tunakuuzia mashini ya kutengeneza rangi na kemikali za hali ya juu kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi tutembelee Kangundo Road, Choka area karibu na stage ya Hurlingham, ama uwasiliane nasi kupitia 0712 222 893. Rangi si rangi, rangi ni Tamasha Paints.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Huyu ni Mike last week. Huyu ni yeye this week. Kwani kuliendaje? Vile Mike ni fan wa movie na futa, alibambika yake yote kupata discount ya Gotv Max. Aka get maximum entertainment for less. Sahi anajinais na the best of Serie A, La Liga and more, na movies za mastaa wa nguvu majuu. Hakuna kuhata action tena.
You know what?
Upgrade to Gotv Max for just 890 shillings leo. Gotv, love it.
You are watching TV 47, the home of Untold Stories.
Welcome back to TV 47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get away from politics to other stories that are equally making headlines. And 1.02 million doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines arrived in the country last evening. The first jab of the COVID-19 vaccine will be administered starting tomorrow, with the government targeting at least 400,000 healthcare workers in the first round. Zainab Mohammed witnessed the arrival of the vaccine and has filed the following report.
It is a historic moment for Kenya as this majestic Qatar Airways plane brings in a total of 1.025 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccines that will bring a new hope in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Minutes before midnight, and the first batch of the COVID-19 vaccine landed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. However, according to Health CS Mutahi Kagwe, the arrival of the vaccine in the country Tuesday night is just a tip of the iceberg in a process that targets to vaccinate a third of the population, beginning with over 400,000 health workers across the country.
We are starting with our health workers. Kenya has approximately 400,000 health workers in the country. After that, we are going to roll out to other frontline workers.
According to CS Kagwe, after the vaccination of health workers is complete, other essential workers such as teachers, security officers and people with comorbidities will follow. The CS pleading with Kenyans to be patient as the process is rolled out in phases.
So we hope that Kenyans will understand. We have to have a priority list. We can't do everybody at the same time. We also want to say that this is only the first arrival. There will be more vaccines coming through, and therefore we don't want anybody to panic and to think that they are not going to get vaccinated.
He further says the exercise will not be conducted in the capital city alone, as the distribution of the vaccines to counties is set to kick off on Thursday.
The process will also involve the counties, so that we are not just sticking to Nairobi. The vaccine is not going to be a Nairobi affair. Starting tomorrow, we are moving into the counties, and therefore it is going to be happening across the counties, across the entire country, amongst the health workers.
However, the arrival of the vaccines has sparked mixed reactions among county bosses, who are now calling on the ministry to ensure free and fair distribution of the vaccines across all counties.
It's a government-to-government arrangement, and so the distribution of vaccines, the ministry has given the priority of the people to receive vaccines. Mainly the health workers who are the front line, might be the teachers, and we go also to our security team. And so our hope is that the counties, because they also have a very huge number of health workers, can coordinate well with the national government so that they can receive the vaccines.
Iwekwe mikakati nzuri ama bora ili tukifanya distribution ya hizi chanjo ambao natumai ni bure, haina malipo yote kwa mwananchi wa Kenya, iende na usawa. Tusipate tena tukapata hizi chanjo zimepata katika maduka ya kuuza dawa na inauzwa. So iwe fair, ikuwe distributed fairly na ifike kote nchini, na aswa tuzingatie wazee wetu.
Zainab Mohamed, TV47.
And now with the vaccine already in the country, tonight we ask Kenyans ready to be vaccinated. Here are some of those whom we spoke to.
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Josephat Maina kutoka mimi mkazi wa Naivasha. Tufikiri mimi kwanza pangu mimi sifikiri sana kama nitadungwa, kwa sababu sijui kwamba kama ni mzuri ama ni mbaya. Ile labda tu hiyo kitu iwekwe pale hivi na tuchague kama ni boxes zimeandikwa numbers, kama nani fulani tuseme kama Mheshimiwa Raila anataka kudungwa, sisi wenyewe ndio tutamchagulia. Kama namba 3, toa hiyo namba 3 kwa box, dunga huyu, ndio tuone kama ni mzuri. Kama si hivyo, mimi siwezi nikadungwa kwangu.
Frida Angare, mkazi wa Naivasha. Mimi naona ikianzia na watu wakubwa, kwa hivyo ni kitu kizuri, ianze mpaka mashule, walimu wadungwe na pia watoto wetu wadungwe.
Kwanza mimi siwezi kunywa hiyo dawa. Juu kwanza hata corona sijui kama bado iko. Naona watu mimi sijaiona. Apili. Sasa kwanza mkubwa hapo ya kunywa uhuru, sawa? Kachupa yenye atabakia. Sana mimi sana ni ndugu hiyo itabakia, si ndio?
Tunafurahi sana sababu sasa kafyu itafunguliwa na biashara sasa tutafanya throughout. Tunaweza fanya hadi usiku.
Kwa hivyo baada ya kusikia kwamba vaccine imeingia, sisi nataka kusema chanjo hii inakaribishwa. Mimi kama Mkenya niko tayari kuweza kupata chanjo hii ili niweze kuwa na kinga kamili.
Kwa upande wangu mimi ninasema heri watafute wenye wako nayo wawachanje, lakini wenye hawana wasichanjwe.
Quite a number of Kenyans being skeptical tonight over the vaccination process, but just as a fact is that the AstraZeneca vaccine has been approved by the World Health Organization and the Pharmacy and Poisons Board here in Kenya. The tests were partly done also in Kilifi, and it was found effective against the variant that is predominant in Kenya. Scientifically then, it does not leave questions of skepticism. Let's get to some politics. And ODM leader Raila Odinga has today toured Kilifi County, where together with other politicians, they drummed up support for the BBI constitutional amendment bill Raila toured Malindi, where he also castigated Deputy President William Ruto for not taking a decisive position on the BBI bill.
Day 3 of Raila Odinga's tour of the coastal region saw the ODM leader traverse Kilifi County, top on his agenda being to popularize the BBI bill. Raila reiterated that the BBI bill will be a cure for the ailing economy in the country and also boost and improve the blue economy for the coastal residents.
Sasa hii 20 ya ziada tunaongeza itaenda kwa maendeleo. Isitoshe, tumesema tena ati 5 kwa 100 hiyo pesa inaenda kwa ward. Kila ward itakuwa na ward development fund. Mradi ya kusaidia wakina mama na vijana. Tena tumeweka mara hii tumeweka katika katiba halmashauri ya vijana, National Youth Commission. Sasa National Youth Commission itahakikisha kwamba miradi ya vijana inapata 25% ya miradi zote za serikali ya juu na serikali ya county.
Raila also took a swipe at Deputy President William Ruto's hustler politics, saying all he seeks is to divide the nation further and burden the common mwananchi without providing a clear position on the BBI report or the constitution.
Wale ambao walikuwa nasema la, si unawajua? Wanaongozwa na nani? Na nani? Na nani? Sasa miaka 10 imepita, tunasema bana, pale walikuwa nasema ni mbaya. Sasa ni wakati ya kurekebisha. Anasema kuna kitu mbaya na hiyo katiba. Unafiki. Si unafiki. Yeye mwenyewe alitupeleka kwenye kampeni kali zaidi ambayo tukatumia pesa mingi akipinga. Baadaye sasa tukisema sasa yale maneno walikuwa nasema mbaya turekebishe, sasa anasema kuna kitu mbaya na hiyo.
He said that all that the Deputy President has done is amass wealth and give nothing to the very Kenyans he so claims to care for, hiding behind religious curtains and exploiting the church.
Anatembea hapa papo yeye na mahelikopta na nini. Yeye anasema anataka ajafanye harambee kwa vikundi vya kina mama. Anataka kwenda kufanya harambee kwa vijana, vikundi vya vijana. Anataka kufanya harambee kwa kanisa. Kila wiki Jumapili amebeba pesa na magunia. Anaingia nayo kwa makanisa. Yeye ni mtu ambaye mcha Mungu sana. Akaenda pale ati Mathayo sura hii imesema hii. Ati Mariko imesema hii na hii. Anaokoka kushughulika hata papa kule Rumi.
Raila reiterated that there was no need for the formation of a coalition for the coastal people, warning that a coastal political party would only divide Kenyans more than unify to unite them.
Mimi nikiwacha naweza kuacha kwa kingi kama kiongozi wa ODM. Kuna mbaya. Sasa sijui kwa sababu gani yeye anatafuta chama ya pwani atisijinganisha nini. Niambia ODM tayari iko hapa, chama ya kitaifa.
Raila Odinga is expected to proceed to Mombasa County tomorrow, where he shall be received by Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, and then to Samburu in Kwale County on Friday, where his tour to the coast shall end. Mariam Mwacharo, TV47, Kilifi County.
Thank you, our Coast Region reporter Mariam Mwacharo, for that. Keep talking to us. Time for us to take another short break, but just a reminder that our special team coverage tonight is on the rising rate of homicide. The question we are asking is, what could just be leading to the increase in numbers? We have the answers after this break. Stay tuned.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories. At Trisent School of Medical Health, Science and Technology, we offer highly competitive courses tailor-made to suit your needs. These include certificate and diploma in theatre technology, medical engineering, nutrition and dietetics, radiography and sonography, science lab, health records, environmental health science, counseling psychology, applied biology, social work and community development, information and communication technology, among others. Register now at our Nairobi campus in Nairobi West around Nyayo National Stadium on 0700-129536. Our Juja campus next to Jomo Kenyatta University on 0700-000760. And our Kisumu campus opposite Swan Center, Oginga Odinga Street on 0703-201229. Trisent School of Medical Health, Science and Technology. UIP Real Estate is here to end your search for land because we have the ideal land just for you. Land that's close to the most anticipated Silicon Valley in Africa, Konza City. A prime location that is convenient to the modern lifestyle and has ticked off all the boxes of basic amenities. Worried about the distance? Our prime land is only a property that is within the Konza locality of Mombasa Road, 1.2 kilometers from Konza Isinya bypass and also 500 meters from the proposed Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway. With the under construction of JKIA Westlands Superhighway, this will shorten the distance by 1 hour fastway in, out and away from all the hustle and bustle of Nairobi City, or should we call it Kanairo? What are you waiting for? Whether you are looking to buy and build or invest, book prime land with us now and be sure of high returns on your investment. Call us on 0708423244 or email us at info@uip.co.ke or visit our website www.uip.co.ke. UIP Real Estate, the home of affordable land.
When it comes to pimple care, Acne's Creamy Wash contains multiple vitamins and removes excessive oil and dirt. Acne's Toner rejuvenates skin. Acne's Sealing Gel fights bacteria. Use Mentholatum Acne's for clear and smooth skin every day.
Nimecheza loto kutoka Yanze tangu 2015 na most of the time nimeona vile watu wana win, pia kanipa motivation na pia vile loto inasaidia society. Majina ni Patrick Napio, nakaa Nairobi, Home Estate. I'm an accountant actually. Mimi ni mshindi wa 100,000. Saizi ni wakati wa kupanda. Sana nahitaji hiyo pesa kwa kufanya kwa kulima na kupanda. Alafu pia nina watoto shuleni. Na mtoto shuleni nahitaji school fees, nitampatia hiyo school fees. Changamka, cheza loto.
Changamka, cheza loto.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. Let's now get to our special coverage on the rate of homicide that is increasing in the country. And the Directorate of Criminal Investigations is concerned over the rising numbers of murder cases in the country, to the extent of educating Kenyans on the provisions of the law regarding murder through social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. Unfortunately, most of the murders are taking place within the family unit. Our reporter Mwangi Maina analyzes murders that have left the country shocked in the last 2 months.
The weekly murder cases reported almost on a daily basis in the country paints a stressed and a depressed Kenyan society. In the last 2 months, between January and March 2021, around 20 homicide cases have been reported. 8 of the 20 homicide cases have involved close family members, whereas around 5 cases have involved partners involved in a romantic relationship. On January 25th, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations took to Twitter to advise Kenyans on the various provisions of the law in regard to murder and other allied offenses. The DCI told Kenyans that any person who causes death of any person by an unlawful act or omission with malice aforethought is guilty of murder, and a person convicted of murder shall be sentenced to death. Any person who causes death of another person by an unlawful act or omission without malice aforethought is guilty of manslaughter, and a person who commits the felony of a manslaughter is liable to imprisonment for life. Most of the murder cases are posted on the DCI Twitter account, and if the numbers there are anything to go by, it suffices to say Kenya is indeed a depressed society. Between January 1st and January 7, 2 murders were reported, while between January 8th and January 15th, 3 murder cases were reported. From January 16th to January 23rd, 2 murder cases were reported, and between January 24th and January 31st, 1 murder case was reported. In the month of February, around 10 murder cases were reported, where between 1st February and February 7th, 2 murder cases were reported. From 8th February to 15th February, 6 murder cases were reported, and from 23rd February to 28th, 2 murder cases were reported. 3 days only into the month of March, and 2 homicide cases have already been reported. On the 6th of January, the country was irked by the gruesome murder of 4 family members of the same family and their farmhand in Karura, Kiambu County. It would later emerge that 22-year-old Lawrence Warunge, a son of the murdered family, perpetrated the crime. Lawrence, who has since confessed to the murders, is not in the right mental state to stand trial and will be due in court on the 15th of March this year.
Stephen Kanini Wangodu, that is your name.
Days into the month of January, the country would again hold its breath out of a disturbing murder revelation from the DCI. A 75-year-old father, Stephen Wangondu Kenini, from Wendiga village of Mweiga in Nyeri County, allegedly orchestrated and paid for his son's murder. The murderers were paid 160,000 to finish Daniel Mwangi following a family feud. Irate Mweiga residents held demonstrations to condemn the Makaba killings a day before the suspects were presented in a Nyeri court.
The court grants the prosecution 2 days.
Wangondu and 4 others who have since pleaded not guilty to Daniel Mwangi's murder are being held in various prisons in central Kenya counties, awaiting bail hearing and ruling on the 9th of March. As the country reflects on Wangondu's murder case, detectives from the DCI are still trying to piece together information on what they postulate could be a murder then suicide at government's quarters along Jogoo Road late last month. Charity Cheboy and her 8-year-old son Alan Kipngetich were found murdered in their house, and Charity's boyfriend, a 35-year-old seminarian, dead in the bathroom. Post-mortem results reveal Charity and her son died out of suffocation, while her boyfriend died out of carbon monoxide poisoning. In the most atrocious of all the murder cases, a man killed his girlfriend and set her body on fire at Njiro in Kasarani.
Ngoja. Don't do it. Sasa ya nini? Sawa.
In a bizarre cat-and-mouse game, the suspect was arrested in Kayole as he tried to commit suicide after a 6-hour chase from a Topa building. The search for a missing 38-year-old businesswoman hit rock bottom when suspects led detectives to where they had dumped the body. Caroline Wanjiko Maina was murdered by her friends out of a business deal gone sour. Her badly mutilated body was discovered dumped in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Post-mortem results established Wanjiko died out of injuries sustained from being hit with a blunt object. 4 suspects are still in police custody. Kenyans ushered in the month of March with a gruesome and horrifying murder of an 8-year-old school-going girl killed in Ruathia, Murang'a County. The body of Hannah Wamboi was discovered in a tea plantation, badly mutilated, with her private parts missing in what is believed to be a ritual killing. As the Directorate of Criminal Investigations continue to unravel the murder cases, Kenyans have been asked to embrace other methods of dispute resolution. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Our homicide numbers have been on the rise, with police officers investigating the riddle behind the runaway murders. The statistics from the police indicate that the cases are individual, relationships, societal, among many other cases. Our reporter Josh Onsare has more.
Over the years, domestic homicide cases have been on the rise, with lovers and family members turning against each other. Reasons of the killing remaining a matter of investigations. According to the report by National Police Service, the cases of homicide are on the rise. For instance, in the year 2016, the murders increased at a rate of 4.82, which is 2.01% increase from the year 2015. In 2017, the cases increased by 1.93%, and in 2018, they again rose by 0.37%. Homicide are triggered by different factors in different levels, which are individual, relationship, communal, and societal. Trans Nzoia Police Commander Frederick Ochieng says that in the last 3 months, the county has reported 16 homicide cases.
The last 3 months, from the month of December and the month of January and the month of February, we have recorded a total of 16 cases. Out of these 16 cases, 14 of them are murders. And then we have 1 case of infanticide. And we have another case of concealing birth.
In the statistics that were released by the National Police Service, there are 8 counties with over 100 case homicide, which include Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Meru, Kilifi, Machakos, and Kisii County. From the same report of 2018, Isiolo County recorded 10 cases, Tana River and Wajir County 8 cases each, and Mandera 6 cases. In Molo constituency, Nakuru County, residents are worried after 9 cases of homicide were reported in the last 2 months alone.
Zote tunapitia uzito fulani. Huenda labda pengine wewe unafikiria upande wako ya kwamba ni wewe tu unayepitia katika hali ngumu. Kuna watu ambao wanapitia hali ngumu zaidi kuliko hizo zako na hawajajitoa uhai. Sioni kabisa kujitoa uhai kama ndio suluhisho. Kwa sababu unapokuwa umesongwa na jambo fulani ama umekasirika na jambo fulani, sio watu wote wamekukosea. Unaweza kutafuta rafiki wa karibu na muweze kushare naye.
Josh Onsare, TV47.
Thank you, Josh Onsare, for that report. We are taking another short break. Our special coverage on the rising numbers of the homicide in the country continues after this break.
TV47, the home of untold stories.
Windsor Security Guards is established to offer tailor-made security solutions for all your security needs. Call or email us today.
Mimi sipendi unapanguza floor. Hiyo dust uache hapa kwa meza. Clean up. Kanyajui, this is a problem Next time uende ununue selector yako, utengeneze sandwich zako, uachane na sandwich za boss.
Selector. The difference is in the taste. The Nyali Golf View is situated along Links Road, Nyali, near the Mamba roundabout. Accommodation at the Nyali Golf View ranges from luxurious, air-conditioned, self-catering, elegantly designed 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and a presidential suite. The apartments are ideal for families and business people. Be it a holiday or a business conference, Nyali Golf View Residence is the right place for you. All rooms reflect exquisite and high-standard decor and cozy ambience that will enhance your stay. Nyali Golf View Residence also offers a fully equipped gym, the real infinity pool, laundry services, valet parking space, and a play area for your children. The Nyali Golf View Residence delivers the best all-round hospitality. At the Nyali Golf View, you have room to think, room to play, room to recharge, room to walk tall, and room to unwind and dream, because it's not a room, it's a residence. For booking and reservation, contact us on 0757 298 272 or email us at nyaligolfview@gmail.com or visit our website at www.nyaligolfview.com.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our special coverage on homicide tonight. And with cases of homicide or attempted homicide on the rise in the recent past, so have the indelible scars left among friends and relatives of those whose lives were cut short prematurely and in a cruel way. The cases have proven to cut across gender and age, with those left behind to look after the graves of their loved ones, having only to grasp at memories and fantasies of lives that were never to become. Our reporter David Muloka tells of the pain, tears, and struggles of those close to victims of homicide and attempted homicide, amid hope that time is the master healer to wounds that throb so excruciatingly.
At Chaidhani village, hundreds of kilometers into the heart of Machakos County, Mama Elizabeth Maua Malombe is a woman in pain. It is more than a year since her firstborn daughter Joyce Yombua and her two grandchildren Shanice Maua and Prince Michael were ripped off from the face of the earth by the very hands that were meant to protect them. Each crack of dawn since, the cracks in Elizabeth Maua's heart have grown larger and seemingly irreparable. Her heavy heart, laden with grief, can bleed no more.
Angekuwa hai sahi kama Shanice Maua ndiye firstborn, ndiyo my first granddaughter, angekuwa standard 6 sahi. Juu ya corona sasa angekuwa 7. But juu ya vile kulikuja corona sahi angekuwa 6, akitarajia kwenda 7. Prince Michael naye alikuwa PP2. Na Kama last year nimehangaika sana juu ya birthday sawa, huwa nilikuwa nawafanyia birthday kila wakati.
The usual complaints of a missing sock or the clutter of utensils, preferably a cup or a plate, as her 2 grandchildren gobbled up their breakfast while getting ready for school, are long gone. Gone also are the playful giggles as the 2 came back home from school, anxious to describe to their grandmother how a pupil ate another pupil's lunch, or how a teacher reprimanded one of the pupils who did not do their homework. All that taken away in a spur of moment.
Nisi alikuwa ananiambia, grandma, wakati nitakuwa mkubwa mimi nataka nikuwe gynecologist. Nilikuwa namuuliza, kwa nini unataka kuwa gynecologist? Sababu gynecologist usaidia wamama wenye hawana watoto. So mimi nataka uwe na wahurumia sana. Nataka nikuwe gynecologist. Prince Michael naye alikuwa ananiambia, shosho, mimi nikikuwa mkubwa nitakuwa pilot. Hata nitakuwa nakubeba na ndege.
What's left are vivid memories of a house that was once full of life. Memories that Mama Elizabeth Maua has opted to keep alive through these tens of pictures of the 2 and their mother, all of whom had a full life to live ahead of them. Each picture worth more than 1,000 words.
Watu wakijapona kila kuchao ninapoangalia hizo picha, ninapoenda kuona hizi kaburi zao, machozi huwa inanitoka. Sababu kama wangekuwa ningekuwa mbali.
6 feet under lay the remains of the young family. For the past 1 year, Mama Elizabeth has made it a habit to take care of the graves that are the very agonizing reminder of what was taken from her. Even though it constantly feels like scratching a sore wound, she will not let a speck of dust blur her connection with her own blood. According to Elizabeth, what began as a search mission for the 3 in November 2019, after they had left to spend the weekend in Nanyuki with Siombua's ex-boyfriend and father to Shanice and Prince Michael, KDF officer Major Peter Mugure took a turn for the worst when the bodies of the 3 were found stacked on each other at a shallow grave in the same area a week later.
Joyce aliweza kunipigia simu tarehe 24 ya mwezi wa 10 2019. Akaniambia Peter ambaye ndiye baba ya watoto wake amemwalika Nanyuki wakafanya birthday ya mtoto mkubwa Shanice Maua. Alikuwa na turn 11 years. Aliweza kwenda na akaniambia anaenda 24th, atakuja Sunday ya 27th.
Siombua's body, who was 31 years old at the time, bore hit marks on the head. According to government pathologist Johansen Oduor, the mother of 2 died from injuries on her head and brain inflicted by a blunt object. 10-year-old Shanice and 5-year-old Prince, on the other hand, had marks on their necks, which according to Oduor, resulted from strangulation with a rope. Mugure was arrested as the prime suspect following the horrific murders, alongside Collins Pamba, who is said to have aided Mugure in burying the 3 bodies. 1 year on, the criminal case is yet to make substantive ground.
Chenye naweza kuwaomba tu kama serikali, mimi kama mwananchi wa kawaida, mimi ni mama mjane. Huyo msichana ndiye alikuwa tegemeo langu. Waangalie tu akitendeke kama vile za wale wengine utendeka.
Just like the Siombua case, another case involving police officer Dan Matakaya's ex-wife, who poured sulfuric acid on the officer's face, nearly electrocuted him and left him for the dead, is still lurking within the corridors of justice. On the fateful dawn of 21st September 2013, Matakaya, who was based in Kisii, had just completed his night patrol when he got into bed at his house at the Kisii police line. Everything seemed usual. His wife appeared fast asleep next to him, but just as Matakaya was slipping into slumber, a life-changing ordeal happened to him.
She woke up and poured a solution on my face, which was sulfuric acid. So it started burning. So I woke up in that confusion. I decided to come out of the bed to try and get some water to dissolve the burns. But when I stepped on the floor, I felt a shock. She had even gone further and connected electricity, the heater and poured water on the floor.
The burns from the acid have now totally deformed his face, ripping off the youthfulness that his face once bore and rendering him partially blind. But the scars on his face, neck and hands only tell a part of what will be his lonely and lengthy journey to recovery.
My prayer was for the restoration of my sight. But let me tell you, when the doctor came and told me that, oh Dan, we are sorry, you won't see again. You know, that statement, ilinimaliza.
For both Elizabeth and Dan, fears that justice might not be ultimately served are rife. For Elizabeth, however, no form of conviction could bring back those she prematurely lost, while Dan insists his odd life simply is out of reach. Both have resolved to take a day at a time, hoping that they will pull through to the next day, stronger and capable of at least confronting their inner battles. David Muthoka, TV47.
Thank you, David Muthoka, for that. Indeed, scars of cruelty. And before you even think or we think of meting any cruelty on any other person, what if it was you? And in the words of Scripture, do to others what you would love to be done to you.